Hello everyone and welcome back. Today's video is inspired by another one of Bill's Patreon challenges. He requested everyone make a boat, but be related to his planet Tapu. Instead of making a seafaring boat, I decided to make a hoverboat. And where best for a hoverboat to be than over lava fields? I started off using this old Hairdryer Diffuser. I'd already taken off the pointy bits, and you see me there sanding it, preparing it and measuring it for the panels that I'm making out of EVA foam here. After adding the main panels, I added some other smaller parts to look like some botched repairs, because this is obviously a junk ship, so it needs to look like it's been just botched together and bits and pieces added all over it. You might recognise that red piece I'm installing now, as I used that on my first video with a big butt bash. I thought it looked really nice for like an engine at the bottom there to give it the uplift for the hoverjet. This piece I actually found at the bottom of a bag of my old childhood toys. I've no idea where it's from, so if you recognise it, please let me know. But I thought here it would look really good for the back of this, for the main engine. And you have to remember that this is a junk ship, so the more random it looks, the better. I'm using some dry clay here to put around the engine parts here to make it look like really bad welding. Next up, I'll be adding some rubber tubing to the bottom. My idea was that the bottom thruster would slide into the bottom of the ship, and they would act as like a soft landing pad. Of course, no junk ship from Tapu would look right without tons of rivets, so I'm adding these little diamond things to the edge of all the panels. And some larger ones to the main engine. I forgot to hit record here, but I just cut out a circular piece of footboard to use as the main deck, and now just covering it with under pressures. I thought I could use this LED in this plastic jar for the main bridge of the ship, but I used hot glue and melted the bottom of it. But in the end, it still worked out, as I was able to cover the top. Continuing with the bridge here, I'm using this unknown part to raise it off the deck, and it also has a nice front piece, which you'll see later. This is a thing I 3D printed for testing out the use of a dry brush, which I never used, so I thought I would use it here as a base. I'm using the small piece of plastic tube as the support for the ship, and reinforcing it with some more of that Hairdryer clay. I'm adding resin to this, so I'm using a mix of black paint and gesso here to seal the 3D print, and hopefully there wouldn't be any leaks. Now that the glue is dried, I'm just cutting off the excess under pressures and sealing it with the same gesso black paint mix. While all that is drying, I'm continuing on with the main bridge. This is the foil off the top of cream cheese tubs, and it makes a really good sort of like hammered metal look. To make the bridge look like it was made from bits of scrap metal. I'm giving the whole ship a coat of black paint, PVA, and a bit of baking powder to give it a bit of a rough look, and hopefully that will come across in the paint. So the ship needs a crew, and on the planet of Tapu, there is the Big Red Mining Company, and they are a bunch of dwarfs. And I've had some dwarf miniatures for a while. I'm not sure where they're from, but they're probably fit for this diorama. I'm now using some hot glue to attach the bottom of the bridge to the deck. I'm just adding some extra details here using these wooden butchel sticks. I just realised there's some missing recording here. I added the top of the bridge to the bottom and added the door as well. And now I'm just adding some raised areas to get up to the door. Next up, I'm creating some ladders using some matchsticks as a way to access the door. I'm cutting some strips of UVA foam here to go around the edge of the deck. I can't remember what the actual term is called, but the bits that stop the sailors falling off. Okay, I just googled it, and the term is bulwarks. It is the solid structural extensions of the ship's sides that raise above the main deck. And that's your lesson for the day. Okay, now for the exciting and scary part. I'm adding lights to the base here, and then I'm going to add resin as the lava effect. I've used resin before, but only for small bits and pieces, so this will be my largest resin pour. So hopefully it goes well.
Ever hear of the Furnaceback? No? Well, I'll tell you a story. The maps of Tapu are incomplete. Not because people forgot to chart it, but because most people have never been foolish enough to go that far. Beyond Respite, beyond the rusty peaks, there are no mines, no settlements, no roads marked on any map. Just endless black plains and rivers of molten rock, stretching all the way to the horizon. Most folk have no reason to travel there. The Big Red Mining Company did. It started with a survey drone. It picked up something impossible buried beneath the lava fields. Massive movements. They weren't sure if it was eruptions, rivers of molten rock, or something alive. But deep below the surface, enormous shapes were moving through the molten rivers. The drone also detected strange bursts of Old Tec signals. Faint, almost impossible to read, but definitely there. So, the engineers did what Big Red engineers always do. They looked through the scrap pile. They found parts that were probably too damaged to use, machines that were probably too old to repair, and pieces of equipment that probably should have been thrown away years ago. Then they bolted it all together and called it an expedition vehicle. Because if there's one thing Big Red knows how to do, it's turning junk into something that almost works. The crew traveled further into the unknown than anyone had ever gone before, skimming across the lava fields in their patched-together hoverboats. They had heard no warnings. There were no legends, no old miners' tales around the campfire, because nobody had ever been there before. Whatever waited beneath those molten rivers would earn its name that day. The first expedition returned weeks later. The crew came back carrying crates filled with Old Tec, unlike anything the company had ever recovered. Strange machines, unknown weapons, pieces of technology that shouldn't have survived the heat. But hidden among their reports was something nobody wanted to believe. The crew claimed they had seen creatures moving through the lava, living in it. Something huge, something ancient. Most people laughed. They said the miners had been staring at molten rock for too long. They said the heat had got to them. Then the second expedition disappeared. No distress signal, no wreckage, nothing. When the third expedition returned, only 3 miners made it back. Their hoverboat was barely recognizable, with deep marks carved across the outside of the hull. The steel had been melted and reshaped around the damage, as if something had tried to tear the machine apart while it was still moving. After that, the stories began. The miners started calling it the Furnaceback. The big red mining company still sends crews out there from time to time. Partly because they never learn. Partly because the Old Tec buried beneath those lava fields is worth a fortune. And partly because every Vermilion miner dreams of being the one who brings back the greatest discovery in company history. But everyone knows the risks, because beneath those rivers of fire, something is still moving. Something old, something powerful. Nobody knows what the Furnaceback really is. Some say it existed long before the Great Armistice, when Tapu was still an unexplored world. Others believe it was created when the first warships fell from the sky and disappeared beneath the lava. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. The Furnaceback collects cannons, engines, entire vehicles, and anything lost beneath the molten rivers. Weeks later, sometimes months, the creature rises again. Its enormous rocky shell covered in new trophies, fused into its back by the impossible heat of Tapu's core. Ancient machines become part of its armor. Lost technology becomes part of its legend. And every time it rises, the miners know one thing. There is more Old Tec waiting out there. But there is also something waiting to protect it. So, the next time you see a big red crew heading beyond the edge of the map, maybe don't ask what they're looking for. Ask if they're hoping it doesn't find them first. Because somewhere beneath the lava fields of Tapu, the Furnaceback is still waiting.
Hopefully you enjoyed that story there. A little insight into the planet of Tapu. As you've seen there, I was testing the lights and thankfully they still worked. I wrapped the lights with a new plastic pole and threaded through the ship because I wanted the hover jet and the main engine to light up as well. Now that the lights out, I can glue on the top deck. I'm using pieces of a broken cork placemat to use as the rocks that float in the lava. I'm building up around the back to hide the battery packets. As you've seen during the story time there, I used hairspray as a tip medium, and now I'm just using water to rub some of the paint off. It seemed to work really well, but I wasn't sure if it was the type of paint that I used or it was actually due to the hairspray. Giving all the cork a black dry brush to make it look like cooling lava rock. And now I'm giving the whole model a wash using a mix of non-oil and Agrex earthshade. I'm just dabbing off some of the excess. I'm using some polyester fibre here to get the illusion of smoke coming from the exhaust of the jets. I used too much hot glue around the plastic tube and I started to melt. You can see it, the boat tipping over here. And I had to hold it for a few minutes for it to harden up again. I'm just using my mini butane torch here to give the fibre some shape. And the last thing to do is to paint the edges black. And that's it done. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. The level effect turned out really well in my opinion, and the scrap boat looks like it was actually made from scrap. So let me know what you think in the comments, and please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!